This podcast is brought to you by Independent Building Advice. IBA acknowledges traditional owners of the land and waters this podcast is recorded on. If you find this episode helpful, follow us for more so we can continue putting out free value for all homeowners in Australia. It really goes a long way. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome back to the Home Building Podcast. Today we're talking about a really popular and actually really important subject, and that is modular construction. Modular construction is basically building your home in a factory first of all, and then transporting it out to site to build your home quickly on site and make it work well. It is a fantastic way of building. A lot of people don't know enough about it, and we've got experts on here. We've got Natalie, we've got Dan on board here from MIRA Residential, and MIRA Residential specialise in modular construction. Tell us a bit about yourselves, tell us more about MIRA, and tell us all about modular construction from there. So,
yeah, thanks, Behan, for having us on today to talk about modular. I think it's a great opportunity. So I'm Natalie, and I'm the General Manager at MIRA Residential. We are backed by the McNally Group. I've been in the industry for over 20 years now. I'm really excited with what modular brings.
I think we started roughly about the same time.
We did. I want to say maybe it was 24 years ago. So.
Scary numbers.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dan. I'm Design Manager for MIRA Residential. Been around for 15, 16 years in the industry, residential and commercial backgrounds.
15, 16 years, so you're just starting out, right? But you're the head designer there.
Yeah, lead designer.
Yeah, beautiful. So we can talk about that today. So,
yeah, of course, yeah.
So tell us about MIRA Residential.
Yep.
Tell us about McNally behind it. Walk us through their background.
So McNally Group are involved in contracting, construction work, non-processing infrastructure, modular, and that's their area of expertise. And with that, they have branched out more so in the residential space over the last couple of years, and that's where MIRA came about. So 2 years ago, we started MIRA Residential, and with an aim to just provide exceptional quality out to people in regional areas with quick build times as well. And that comes from McNally's expertise.
Beautiful, absolutely. So just walk us through, because I gave a very quick introduction to modular. What is modular?
Sure.
How is it different to normal construction?
It's built off-site, so rather than in situ or on your own site, and it is transported to site. So we have a factory environment where you have a yard, some of it is covered, and then we build the home in its entirety from the same materials, essentially. You've got concrete base, steel frame base. We do steel frame walls, and then your roof structure cladding, and then your kitchen and everything goes in as well, including your flooring. So you come out to our factory and you do a pre-handover inspection, and then we separate the building and we transport it out on trucks to your site. We would have already prepared the site, and then we're ready to do the connections. So to your sewer, your water, your power, and that type of thing.
Magic, yeah. So you manufacture the whole thing on site in obviously a factory. The team's making it. You can actually see it, your house basically cut into halves, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when they've made it, they go, great, they put it on the trucks. And if you're trying to get down south for your holiday, you've got to try and get past those bloody trucks. That's what you'll find. So you'll find trying to get there.
Wide load coming through.
One load. And then you build it on site. Amazingly quick, and then it's put together, and all of a sudden your house wasn't there yesterday, and today it's there.
Yeah, and that's why some clients have chosen to go with MIRA Residential, is due to the impact on their land. So we had a client that had an amazing view, wanted to have less impact on the land with construction timeframes, and we were able to build her home in the factory in an average of 12 weeks, and then transport to site, and then it was a 2-week install. So that enabled us to deliver the modules to site and then drop them on the sand pad, and then from there do the connections. So we complex the buildings back together.
Complex being attached.
Yeah. So that's the terminology that's used in the modular industry is complexing, and that's essentially the two or the 3 modules or the 4 modules all coming back together and being watertight, and then we do all the connections from there to site.
Gotcha, absolutely. And that must be pretty amazing for people to watch their house.
And neighbours. You will
together,
find that you've got people that are coming out from the street. Recently been delivering a lot throughout regional WA, and everyone's coming out and having a look, and one day there was no house there, and now you've got this beautiful home and it's finished and you're ready to move into. So
it must be actually hilarious with your neighbours gone away for 2 weeks, or you go on fly in, fly out, and someone's going, what the crap? Like, there was no house there last week. What happened there? Which is pretty amazing, because obviously you've got your site there, but you're also, I'd imagine you're also especially on those sloping blocks or,
Yes.
or you know, in rural sort of areas, you don't really want to mess with the landscape or the existing land too much. And to have that home put together on site.
Yeah, where possible. It's different rural blocks, you know. Sometimes you obviously optimise the flat block, but with sloping slides, we have to go for a more of a steel frame construction on the floor to allow for the height and obviously the substructure. So there's different variables that we use to allow for the rural sites.
Yeah, I'm not saying a 45 degree.
Well,
you
yeah.
could do that, but
Yeah. Still, we do. It's on stilts that way.
Yeah, magic.
Yeah.
So how does stilt construction work with, because most people aren't aware of how that works?
This is where we would need to talk through probably the option of a concrete base and a steel frame chassis.
Magic.
So in something like an undulation of land, where it's not a flat block, then a steel frame chassis, so a steel frame base.
Yeah.
And then therefore we can have the stilts and you've got your footing system. And your footing system can vary depending on your land. So like with your home, if people have built a home before, you get a site or soil classification report, we find out what's in that soil to determine what that footing system needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's fantastic. And then, so when you put on site, are you using local builders or do you have your own builders? How does that
We
sort
do
of work?
both. We want to maximise the efficiency that we can bring and also the certainty that we can bring as well. So we have off-site teams that travel, but we also have local trades as well.
Magic.
We've got site managers that live in regional areas that come out to the block and have a look at the site before we transport, actually even before we get to contracts, to make sure that the home is accessible or the land is accessible.
Huge part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to walk out there and go, oops, there's a lake in the way. You know,
And a lot of our clients do have beautiful lakes and dams and things like that, and where we need to set out the home. So we talk them through that process.
Yeah, because I think it's really important. Like, a mate of mine, an architect, years ago said to me, and I changed my way of thinking forever. He goes, every block's different. Even if you're in a rural area, so in a suburban area, this block might be different to the one across the road. Orientation, sloping, access, the whole thing. And access is a major part of it.
Yes.
And to do that due diligence beforehand and go, let's just have a look at the block. I mean, we've all been it before when a client said, oh, it's a flat block. And you go there, it's like, I can't afford it. You go, whoa, that's not flat. I don't know, where did you get flat from? But to look at that and what you're dealing with, because you're creating this house on a different landscape every time, it makes a massive difference.
We find that as well. We get clients send their pictures of their block and where it is, and then we say, okay, how do we get to this block? And you have to go through this paddock here and this here to get to it. So we have to do our research and look at the block and really do and see what's going on. So.
Yeah, so you go like, sometimes you create access pads and that to get to it. Is that
Access tracks?
Yeah.
So depending
Access
on
tracks, sorry, pad.
what's required on the site and what time of year we're delivering as well.
Yeah.
So and how we're delivering it. So I might talk through, there's two methods that we use in terms of delivering the home. So yes, it goes out on a truck, and then we can there's a jacking method or there's a crane that needs to be taken out.
So what's a jacking? So just
so they're hydraulic jacks that lift up the building, and then the truck drives out, and then the hydraulic jacks then go down.
Gotcha.
And then from there, they're positioned on what we call a donut, if it's a concrete slab, and that's on a sand pad.
What's a donut? So just to people play at home.
100%. A donut is like a concrete footing as such.
Yeah.
It sits on top of the sand pad or on top of a footing detail.
Gotcha.
And again, that varies due to your site.
Yeah.
And that's what the concrete slab will sit on.
Magic.
So when we are transporting and it is the house in its entirety, that's why we have the concrete slab in our yard and we build on that. And then we deliver the concrete slab with the house on it to your home. Yeah. And that jacking system enables us to get that off the truck. If we have difficult site access or reduced site access, or it's a 2-story, for example, then we use a crane. And that's there is a cost involved in the crane, so where possible, we use the jacking system. We will provide you with advice on that up front, and we do the site visit as well.
Can I say it's awesome? Everything you just said then was great. Not like the two systems you've got there, but what I love what you've said there is, one, yes, you can design a home all day long, all right, and we'll get into design in a minute.
Yeah, sure.
But at the end of the day, the land that you've got varies, and the fact that you've got teams out there that look at it, you use local builders and that as well, where you need it, and that you're assessing it, and you're doing all that before contracts come out. So, hey guys, we've worked out all the grey area, all the things that you might be scared of or we're concerned about. We've worked that out for you, and this is what you're looking at going forward. So, because I think a lot of the problems of the building industry, it's not what you do know, it's what you don't know as a client. And to have someone going out there and doing the proper due diligence and going, okay, this is your problem. Sorry, guys, it's not our fault. It's your land. These are the problems, but this is how we're going to solve them and come up with the right method for them. it's just peace of mind. It makes a big difference, and you're not just shooting from the hip, going, "Oh, oops." You're actually doing it properly up front.
Being backed by McNally, we have a huge amount of expertise in that space.
Yeah.
And that's the benefit of the knowledge that we have and that we can share with our clients and what to look out for and what we can do. And visiting their site if they've got narrow gate and what posts may need to be removed so the truck can get through and things like that.
Yeah.
But that is a rural site. We do also sometimes deliver to the metro area because we do have, I suppose, modular is a hot topic at the moment. And we do have inquiry coming through from metro areas, but there are certain considerations that need to be had if modular is right for them. One of it is budget and the second is access. So if those two work together, then we can deliver modular home to
access is major. Those power lines is no
one's
friend.
And we have power lines. Western Power, there's a few of them out there.
Power lines, bus stops. There's all different variables at play. So
100%. Like I've done modular for a few years myself, and that's the big thing is getting the trucks down these roads, but also getting to site. Because you can do it with extensions and that. You can do it with 2-story things like that. But it does certainly have its restrictions and its issues. But you mentioned price there, so so obviously people's budget. Modular is more expensive than doing traditional construction in
certain areas. I would say with trade availability and trade rates, and in regional areas, it can be quite difficult. And therefore, we can work with people's budget when they come to us and discuss about the value that they need to meet with that budget, essentially. So what you've talked about before is about that cheaper per square metre rate when you go with a larger home. And it's not a cheaper house, but it's that more value in that budget.
Absolutely,
With modular, it's a very similar situation. It's just if you go from 1 module to 2 module to 3 modules, there's an additional truck required per module.
Yeah, and that's different size homes, obviously. So you're saying this section of the home, this section of the home, and this section of the home is... But the reason why I'm saying that, though, and where I'm coming with that, is that, yes, if you went like for like, probably in a city, Perth or whichever, and you went, hey, this home's a brick construction, this is modular, then yes, it might be more expensive for modular. However, my point is, though, in the rural areas, what you've got to factor in is time and construction. It's bloody hard getting trades in Perth, let alone trades in the country. Putting together the speed of construction that you've got, the ease in the sense that you're not, trying to get trades out there. Every different trade's got to get their own access there. You've actually built the whole thing together and putting it together. So to me, in the country or in rural area, it's a no-brainer. Like to me, anyone who's not thinking going that way I don't think has done enough of not going brick or something in on site. Needs to just research modular
maybe
a little bit further.
Research. Maybe it's a misconception of what modular is because we have so many people come through our display home in Osborne Park and are blown away by the quality that we produce. We're in a controlled environment. We've got excellent trades that have been with us for over 15 years because they come to the same area and they're not having to go from site to site to site. There's that continuity of work. And with that, we can produce just such beautiful homes. And you can have your up-spec 2.7 high ceilings and, your large windows and things like that. So,
but that's the thing, though. You can do the quality, but it's more so in the rural areas. Like, for example, if you're doing a traditional way of building and that builder's going out there, they've got their trades might be based near the town. Let's say you're further out. They've got to pay all those trades to go out there. They've got to basically build the home and do all the plumbing, tiling, whatever they're going to do on that home. And then the builder's fighting with all the other builders in the area to do that. And that's where the costs really comes into savings because that may be a 2-year build because they just don't have the trade availability. And trying to convince a trade to travel kilometres on end to get to somewhere and then come back for one job. Whereas if you can do it through modular, you can put it aside, you can build it, it's done, and it's not a 2-year wait. So you look at the holding costs that you're savings.
Yes,
that's all the things. That's the things you got to factor in, and that's where, like, every time I hear someone say modular in the country, yeah, mate, that's to me that would be personally, and not because you're here, rural. That's the only way to go, in my opinion. Unless you're right at the country town, you are the builder or you know the builder or something like that. It's just that lack of trades is to remove that problem. And you still got some trades.
Yeah.
But to remove a big part of that issue is a big benefit, in my opinion.
I think it brings some certainty to people. We're able to provide guaranteed timelines because we have to transport. We have to get Western Power line lifts. So we have set dates that we need to work towards. So when we provide our clients our average build time and then we work our way to contracts, post that, we're able to say this is our start and finish time. And we're always generally hitting those.
Yeah, imagine.
Because we have to.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what is the process that people follow? So let's say I'm at home. I've got a property in middle of nowhere. I want to do a modular home. What's the process that people follow to go down this path?
So that pre-construction journey is very similar to a traditional build, where you would look at the design, you'd meet with our sales representative, and you'd talk through what you want in your home, and then we go through what's called a preliminary works agreement. And that's where we do your survey, your soil classification, and also a bowel assessment, which is your bushfire attack level.
That's a massive one you'd get all the time.
It is.
It's basically what we're playing with here.
Yeah. And because that then gives us the information that we need to how we would engineer your home. So from there, we do a set of working drawings and then produce a HIA contract, and you have the opportunity to come in for pre-start. We do our compliance certificates, so there's structural engineers, there's energy compliance, and there's CDC to get us to a building permit. Depending on your design, some clients will require planning approval. There are things that we can do to avoid planning, but it just depends on the individual of what they're seeking.
That'd probably building envelope changes might
Correct.
trigger that. Yeah.
Setbacks, different setbacks.
These are all things to take into account
Yeah.
up front, try and guide the client as best as possible.
And when we're talking about energy efficiency, so that's things like we have standard wall insulation, ceiling insulation. We also have the insulation that's between the roof sheets and your roof frame as well. And then once we get that certification for energy, it just ensures that we're facing, if we've got a north orientation of how we would design the windows, and then provide that feedback to you as well.
All right, chat about that in a second. Actually. Just on a side note for people playing at home and listening at home, we've got a farmhouse rural site podcast that we've done. Highly recommend you listen to that one and this one at the same time. And that's about how to design well for your rural property and what to take into account, because both of those will link back to each other. It's not talking about so much about construction types.
No.
And that one's talking more about what to think about all the stuff you just mentioned and more, which is really important.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with talking about design for a second. That's the thing with rural property. You might have a beautiful view of a lake or something on your backyard, but then that's south and that's orientated the wrong way, and all your living is facing south. And I've got a rule personally that depending on your view, now if you've got a view of a piece of grass, maybe not as good, but what I think view trumps soil orientation. Yeah. If you're on West Coast Highway, you got a beautiful view of the ocean. You don't ignore it and you have everything facing northeast.
And again, I think it's more the budget involved.
Yes.
If there's a budget to allow for that, then you upgrade the glass, you can upgrade that facade to then allow for you have that beautiful view. If you don't have that, we need to compromise a little bit and make the glass a bit smaller, or there's different variables you can play.
And that's where the expertise of you come in and you make it work. Yeah, fantastic. So can you give me the process? Sorry.
And then following on from that, you've got your pre-start, and then we move through into procurement or scheduling of the contract so that we can place the order for all the materials and then into manufacture. So when we roll into manufacture, that's a process that we book the entirety of the build-up all at once. We book in all the trades and then call up all the material. And then we just follow that schedule because generally we've booked a transport date in. And concurrently we'll run the site works at the same time. So preparing the land for the modular to come in. And then once the modular is dropped, then from there it's the site connections, power, water, sewage, and then key handover.
Gotta love that. So that's what, all 24 hours? Is that the whole process?
To be fair, to try and make it watertight, we've got our complexing team out there, generally complexing in a day.
Complexing away.
Yeah,
absolutely. So time frame wise, and look, a lot of variables here.
Yeah.
Because planning issues, all the things, right? What's happening in the world, all that kind of stuff. So the time frame so let's say the design process takes as long as it does. We're going to come back into design in a second. But during the pre-construction period, 3-6 months? How long does that?
We generally say 4 to 6 months, and that allows for those variables between clients. If they need planning, if they need a little bit more time doing their pre-start, and that type of thing. Or if they're looking at their bushfire management plan, trying to overcome things if they've got to do any cutting back trees and things like that.
Well, that's incredibly quick for this market.
So 4 to 6 months for a pre-construction journey. And then from there, we say an average of 12 weeks for manufacture. That's due to the different sizes of homes that we have. We just delivered a ancillary dwelling, so a granny flat, for a lovely couple down south, and that was a 5-week build time, but something more larger 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom home that can go around that 12-week mark.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. And then that's putting putting it together, and then you got to finish it off on site.
And so from there, it's transported, and then the average of around, I say to clients 2 weeks, to allow 2 weeks, depending on the works that are required.
Yeah.
Some of our clients, because we also do on-site work, such as our frescoes or a carport, and that just need to allow for that little
so
bit of
all up,
extra
you could be
time.
looking at 9 to 12 months, depending on
Correct.
roughly. Yeah,
That's probably what we're averaging out at the moment. Yeah.
For building in the middle of nowhere in the rural areas, that's breakneck speed, and that is amazing. But it also removes the variable of can we get the trade? There's going to be an issue, which is pretty amazing.
And the other thing that we bring, just talking about that quality side of things, the quality blows people away with what they see that we can produce in the yard and then transport that out.
And just to quantify that, right? So when builders talk quality, we're normally talking workmanship and how well it's done. When clients talk quality, they're talking about stone tops. You're talking about both.
I am talking about both. Yeah. Clients that want those stone tops, that's our standard specification.
Yeah, magic.
So you can have those quality fixtures and fittings, but you can also have quality craftsmanship as well.
Yeah,
so,
magic. And just to touch that a little bit, we're doing 3-story homes in North Coogee, places like that, and we're building them framed. And we've had people question, it's not brick. Brick's best. And Midland Brick did the best marketing ever in the 70s.
We do talk about that actually.
But timber frame, steel framed is actually an amazing way to build.
Yes.
Talking about that infrastructure, can you talk a little bit about?
I recently visited Japan. I was on a modern methods of construction tour, and with that, their homes have to go through heat, extreme cold, earthquakes, and they're built out of timber or steel.
Yeah.
And the same here when we deliver regionally across all regions in WA, in the cyclonic region, what we're currently facing, they're built to such a high standard. That's not brick, it's steel frame or it's timber frame. And that have the full structural certifications with it as well.
Yeah.
I think for people in terms of their the feeling of a home for them, like the warmth that when you walk into a home, and some people want to feel that warmth, you've got the nice wooden flooring, there's the vinyl plank, or they want that industrial look and they want polished concrete. We offer all of that in Modular. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, there's a number of things there. So one, you do not want to build a brick home in somewhere where there's big storms and that, because the reason for that is it's not rigid, it's not going to move. Yeah. If you're up north and there's cyclones on or something like that, you said to someone out there, hey, I want to build a brick home because it's better quality construction, they would be laughing at you. It's definitely not the way to go. And steel and timber frame is built all over the world. It's majority, it's just Perth mainly that we go, no, brick's best. So look, the quality is really there. And where a lot of people live in older homes, go, but the heating and cooling, that's because it's not sealed properly. My home was built in 1939. There's so much heat or get heat out through the floors, through the roof. I think it's a 0-star, 0.001 star home. But the problem is that's an old way of thinking. It's not like that. These homes are sealed properly. They are to 7-star and above. All those things that people associate with steel framed or not brick is not really an issue these days. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah. And that's why there's certain legislation around that. You just mentioned 7-star. We all work to the same compliance. We all work to the same National Construction Code. So we are building a superior product in terms of delivering that energy efficient home to you. And providing you that structural guarantee and structural warranty. Yeah, fantastic.
And also on top of that, the noise travel between walls, because we were talking about that earlier, that you can put insulation in the walls.
Yes.
Which is not only external but also internally. And in my previous work, we actually did a lot of sound testing on that. Yeah. And the sound with brick is slightly better sound travel, and I'm talking like slightly better with lower frequency sound.
Yes.
But framed with insulation on is better for mid and high with insulation in the walls. Yeah. With no insulation, we could have it here. We can have a conversation like this.
Yes.
The insulation is actually better than what brick is for mid and high. And people got the whole thing. You knock on them and you can hear it. Well, if you've got friends coming over knocking on your walls, stop inviting them over. I mean, what kind of friends do that? Like, man, you're chipping on my walls.
Do people actually do that nowadays?
I think they go through it. I think it's just thinking. Actually, I tell you, that's a good question. I think people go through display homes, generally looking for a reason not to buy, because people are so confused. Right, about the building process, what to buy, who to buy, it's overwhelming, that they're looking for any reason to eliminate an option. So they go to a home and go, oh no, this is terrible construction, because they're looking for some way to eliminate that. But A, they don't know what they're doing, but B, also stop tapping walls. Like, what are you doing?
I think immigration, though, is changing that mindset.
It has done,
Societal norms are changing. Like you mentioned before, that Perth's probably the only place that builds in brick, where you've got East Coast and overseas, and we've just spoken about Japan as well, how they're building and what requirements they need to overcome natural disasters and things like that. So
absolutely. It's just, but we're talking to a very broad audience here. So, and look, it's just doing research and getting the right information. Obviously, if you're getting your information from a company that does brick, well, guess what? They're probably going to tell you brick's best. And if you talk to a company that just does, steel frame, they might say steel frame's best. Just research it, find out. I mean, we're independent building advice because we're independent and we talk to people that's in their best interest. But it's just something that I think some Australians or some West Australians are still in that mindset. It's not necessarily the way to go. But again, everything's signed off, great quality, great construction. So you have a range of standard designs that you've created, Dan, and that's really to give someone a starting point, or ideally one of those aimed at your clients. Walk us through them and what's involved.
Yes, we've got over 20 different base models from a single module to 3 modules to 4 modules. Different price points, different requirements. So we've got a big variety, different styles, house styles. We've got a modern farmhouse. We've got a mid-century modern. So
love mid-century modern.
Dan's design actually was one of 8 designs in the James Hardie Modern Home Course magazine last year. Only modular builder, and just demonstrating what modular can do.
Amazing. That's a big effort actually. So those standard designs. What's the process with designing a home with you guys?
So with that, you'll meet our sales representative and they'll talk you through the different designs and what's suited for your land or what's suited for your lifestyle. And then again, you can make future tweaks to that, or you can keep it as standard. But if you want to do small minor tweaks internal, that's fine. And then go through the process, and then we take it through to more the planning side of things, or going through to building license.
Yeah, so you've got a standard plan there. Ideally, if people start with that, because you've thought about the modular breakups and go, okay, this is 2, 3, whichever. So then you can be more specific with your pricing and more upfront, with clients and guide them better. But also, they're not starting from zero. It gives them a benchmark to go, okay, that's what I get. Hey, can you tweak? And that way, you've got more of an idea of what you're getting into with this. But and then that's really a good way for most people to go, I'd imagine.
Gives them a starting point. So we can either go the standard model or go to the custom side of things.
And then so if you do go the custom side of things, what's involved in that?
So then they'll come to us with a quite detailed brief. So if their base models haven't worked for them, they want something a bit more boutique, then we can sit down, we come down, have a conversation, and we talk through the land, talk through the design. Sometimes they come with a little sketch, and we can work from that and carry on. So there's different ways we can approach the process.
Absolutely. And then how do you have to think about modular differently to brick construction or typical construction?
Let's start with the design first and get the design right, and then we can work the technical side of things out. But in my head, I'm always thinking about max sizes, max widths, max lengths, max heights. Again, it's got to fit on the back of the truck. So we do have max heights. And then we have max lengths, and it's more efficient sometimes to max out a module. If it's like a concrete module, it's more efficient to max the module out rather than trying to be smaller, because you're paying for the cost of the truck, you're paying for the transport. So there's different variables to look at, and again, that's what I do as we talk through the clients, understand what's happening.
But if I've got a ute, I can just chuck it on the back of the ute, right?
How long's the ute?
But on that though, so you're talking about max heights. We're talking pretty high, right? We're not talking 28 course.
So we say 4.5 metres high, but that's the top of the roof, and that's got to allow for the substructure as well.
We just recently delivered for a client that had 30-degree roof pitch with a rake ceiling.
Big rake ceiling. So everything's still achievable. We just need to think about that at a level.
Yeah, but just for people at home, if they're thinking max heights, you might think you can only have a short thing.
No.
It doesn't need to be a shipping container. Which is maybe that misconception.
It's not a small box.
It's not a box. And even when Dan was mentioning, we've got max lengths and widths for the truck. They still complex together to give you the home that you want.
Yes.
You're not governed by, I can only have a square box. Yeah.
Well, on that note, because I highly encourage anybody who's even thinking about this to go meet you guys at your display home in Small Park, which is, I didn't know you had that. When we rocked up to your office, we went, let's go through that. And it's so good because it just gives you perspective and blows you away as to what you can actually see.
Yes.
And you go, I could have that. I could have, okay. I mean, obviously we do this for a living, but I knew, but I reckon you have so many clients go, I didn't realise I can have all the things that you would have in a normal home, all the great features. but it's done. And I think you have to see it to really get understanding of how good it actually is.
In terms of you saying that we do this for a living, like, yes, I've been in the industry for 20 years and working with McNally Group and MIRA Residential. The quality in terms of, I walked through one of our clients' homes 2 years ago and I was like, wow, this is what you can do. Like the high ceilings, the high glass, the double glazing, recessed tracks on a steel frame chassis. There are certain things that can be done. So,
yeah imagine. And then you've got to see it and then you can complain about it afterwards once you've seen it. Maybe it's not what I thought.
Makes me want to build. I was like, that looks amazing.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the thing though. And then to take that plan, you might have a different plan, but you can get the essence of what you can achieve from it.
Yeah, so that design was at the back of our car park, realistically, was designed to suit and showcase what we can do. So it's got the master suite, it's got the ensuite, it's got the standard bathroom, laundry and powder and whatnot. But that design can evolve, so we can actually make it a bit longer. But hardest thing is we've designed to a T-shape to fit in the back of that space. So we can put another bedroom there. We can evolve quite easily.
And it showcases the products that we use as well. You can do full height tiling. We've got skylights in there. We've gone standard ceiling height, upgraded ceiling heights, and various.
You see the fact we can fit ducted aircon as well. A lot of people don't do that; just do splits. So trying to showcase what we can do.
Yeah, magic. Because ducted aircon is staple of society these days. And it's good that you have that. But a great thing that's great for modular is raking ceilings, getting featured ceilings. That is actually cheaper. Or more cost effective, I should say, doing it through modular than it is doing it through normal ways.
Yeah, it is. Our structure's a lot more set up for that element of rake ceilings and whatnot compared to a traditional method.
And different ceiling heights as well.
Yeah.
Between your 25 courses, your 2.4, or 31 courses, your 2.7.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's where I think raking ceilings and farmhouses go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
But that's where the funky features are. I've always said to people, if you really want to make your house, ceilings. Ceilings.
Yes.
Volume
and skylights.
Space.
I am loving skylights at the moment, I must say.
Yeah.
Well, so we've got the question, the $10,000 question we ask you later. Mine, what I did at my first one was skylights.
Yeah.
Love a good skylight.
Makes a difference.
So many homes I've been to, whenever I see a skylight, we're talking the big ones, we're not talking one in a toilet.
No.
The big ones.
Yep.
Yeah, and you walk in there and just go, right.
Well, they're openable. They come with blinds.
Yeah, you got to have.
We could spend a whole
blinds.
podcast
and rain
on
sensors.
Skylights.
Imagine it's like a lightning storm and you're having dinner.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
But it always freaked me out if someone's like staring at you.
I never thought of that. It's pretty high. It's pretty hard to get up there, actually.
Yeah, but hey, good on them for getting up there. You know? But no, look, the different styles is really what can bring your house together. And again, modular setup for that, which works really well. So now, down to the serious stuff now. And this is the $10,000 question that we have to ask everybody.
Yep.
All right. I know you guys look very excited about me asking this question.
I'm ready to sit down.
And I know you don't, this is coming because we haven't told you about it beforehand. So you're building, extending your own home, right? And all of a sudden in the post, some distant relatives going, hey, here's $10,000, but you have to spend it on your home.
Yep.
What would you spend it on? Natalie, we'll start with you first.
It's definitely got to be something to do with structural elements, because you can add little things in later, but ceiling heights, skylights, which you can also add in later. But for me, it's definitely going to be, I'm going to focus on the kitchen. So can I get some skylights in there? Some amazing cabinetry. Yeah, that's where my 10 grand's going towards.
So when you say amazing cabinet, you're talking finishings?
I'm going to talk through drawers. I love drawers, and I think they're really important as I get older, that it's just so simple to use drawers and put everything away nicely. I do love an organised pantry. Yeah. So, I think
drawers are the best. For one, overhead cupboards are roughly about $1,000 a linear metre.
Yeah.
Drawers, to converting them there, is about $700, $800 something.
Right.
But much more effective than overhead cupboards.
And drawers and drawers as well, I think.
Drawers and drawers.
The concealed ones.
I think the functionality of a kitchen, that's a big one for me. So, that's where and the addition of a skylight just feels so premium.
So skylights and drawers and more drawers.
Yeah.
And if you got any money left over, more drawers.
Yeah.
Love it. That's
tapware, colours, finishes,
Well, that wow factor, man. You spend so much time in the kitchen, you want to go, you know what? And you want to go, I love my house. You want to have that feeling.
100%. It needs to be your sanctuary, I always find. The way I think about it sometimes is coming back from a holiday and walking in and just loving that feeling when you come in. And coming around back to the kitchen discussion, no matter how small your home is, even if you've got a tiny kitchen, you'll find when your friends come over or your family comes over, you're all still standing in the kitchen.
Always.
So I think, for me, that's the best one.
Money well spent, I think. Absolutely. Dan, what's yours?
Well, I've just done reno, so mine would be outdoor areas. So it'd be landscaping, it'd be the decking area. It would be a little entertaining space.
Yeah, you got 10 grand, mate. Yeah, 10 grand.
All right, no, decking in an outdoor area which is actually usable. I love being outdoors, so and when you have your friends over, you're in the kitchen or you're outdoors. So,
That's very true.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing that gets forgotten the most with building is good landscaping. I mean, especially with new homes where people max themselves out with budget.
Yeah.
And you got this beautiful kitchen, skylights, the whole thing, and a desert outside, and you're going, people are going to notice that. You know, you can't close your blinds every time someone comes over.
I have had someone recently talk to me about they built a home and one of their regrets was not thinking about the hardscape and the landscaping. And it is hard to fit that in your budget, but it should be something that should be considered.
I think you need to stage it as well. Focus on your house first and then think about landscape second, but also remember you're going to be there for a long period of time. So just gradually, bit by bit, start putting some plants in, put your turf in and whatnot. And you don't have to do it all at once, but just have that overall picture in mind that what you want to get to.
Yeah, well, I actually do. I think the flip side of that is if you design a home, put budget aside for it, but actually look at your landscaping and go, sometimes it's nice to have a glass of wine or a drink with your partner and go, okay, what do we want to do here? Now the house is built, what do you want to do? Because you might change your mind from looking at a plan. I mean, we look at plans all day long. But for a lot of people, it's foreign to them. Standing in your home going, actually, let's put the pool there or whichever is often better. But leave money for it. Poor landscapers get $100 at the end and go, what can you do with that? You know?
So when the plants go from this size to this size.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, you can get some gravel. No, that's great. And an outdoor barbecue, I mean, that's Australian lifestyle.
It is,
it's almost as important as the kitchen, in my opinion, or extension of the kitchen, it should be. And you're a decking guy, not an aggregate?
Oh, it's two minds. Yeah, I'd love. It's just probably getting access, put concrete in, so it's easy for me to put a deck in the back.
Yeah, no, I love a good deck. It just really depends on what you have inside, I guess.
Yes.
Can we have 20 grand now each?
Yeah, we might work out there.
Can I have? Yeah, I'll pick the kitchen and the outside.
Yeah,
and then we'll go lighting as well. That's important.
Oh yeah, lighting.
That's
nice.
Next round we'll have. What would you do with $1 million?
Yeah.
I'll get some aggregate. Hey, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. You've been amazing. Look, MIRA Residential, or the modular that you guys do is fantastic. We've only just touched the surface about what you can do, but it's really good for people at home to know about this product. If you are building in the country or rural, something like that, is something you definitely should consider. The benefits far outweigh anything else that's out there as far as options go, and that's where people need to really consider that. Every time I hear someone doing that, I go, great. Every time I hear someone doing something different, are you sure that's the best option for you? And look, I think just having a chat to you guys and hearing what you have to say about it and seeing that display is well and truly worth it. And being so central to everything, it's a great move. But thank you.
Thanks for your time today.
Awesome, appreciate it.